Picture this. It's March 2023 and the MLB season is right around the corner. The Mets are looking like an unstoppable super team after spending over $800 million in free agency, adding guys like Justin Verlander and more. It's looking like it might actually be the Padres' year to win the NL West. The Yankees managed to re-sign reigning MVP Aaron Judge and look to win the NL East. And to no one's surprise, the Reds are horrible, the Marlins are horrible, and the D-backs are just mediocre. And for some reason, the Orioles made no offseason moves and will likely finish last in a stacked AL East. But the 2023 MLB season was dumb. So of course, none of this was true. This was ESPN's preseason standings predictions for March of this year. And this is how the actual standings turned out just 7 months later. But I mean, who could have predicted the Orioles would win over 100 games and the Marlins would finish over the Mets? I mean, really, if someone told you the Marlins were going to finish over the Mets, would you believe it? But the biggest shock we saw in the National League this season was the very unexpected Cincinnati Reds breakout. And I would say the biggest shock was the Mets crashing and burning, but we all know the Mets are really notorious for crashing and burning. But anyways, just last year fans were outside Great American Ballpark begging owner Bob Castellini to sell the team after trading former All-Stars Jesse Winker, Eugenio Suarez, Sonny Gray, and letting All-Star outfielder Nick Castellanos walk in free agency. The Reds' attendance was at an all-time low, and when fans would come, they'd show up wearing paper bags on their heads. In March of this year, the Reds were projected to finish 70-92, and they ended up going 82-80 and nearly made the last wildcard spot thanks to incredible rookie seasons by Matt McClain, Spencer Steer, Andrew Abbott, and more. The city of Cincinnati felt completely hopeless just a year ago, but now it's feeling more optimistic than ever. And the biggest shock we saw in the American League was that the Orioles actually turned Aaron Hicks into a good baseball player. Just kidding, although that is a major shock. I mean, look at the numbers difference from the Yankees to the Orioles. The real shock in the American League actually did come from the Orioles though. They were projected to finish 74-88 and finish dead last in a stacked AL East. But they went over 100 games and won the AL East behind incredible seasons from Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Felix Bautista, and so much more. This offseason, many were skeptical about the Orioles considering they were fresh off a great 2022 season but made little to no major moves this offseason to strengthen their team. But the guys they did go get in free agency made a huge impact. They acquired Ryan O'Hearn for cash considerations from the Royals in January, and that move paid off big time. In 5 seasons with the Royals, O'Hearn hit just .219 with a .683 OPS, 40 doubles, and 38 home runs. Just this season with the Orioles, he hit .289 with an .801 OPS, 22 doubles, and 14 home runs. He hit more than half the amount of doubles he had in 5 years with the Royals in just 1 season with the Orioles. And although the Orioles did lose in the ALDS, they have a lot to look forward to with such a young team. And the fact that they still have the #1 rated farm system is very scary for the rest of the league. But the extent of the weirdness of the 2023 season doesn't just end there. This postseason was equally as weird as the regular season. The 5 most winningest teams in baseball going into the postseason were all eliminated before the championship series. The 104-win Braves lost in 4 games to the Phillies, the 101-win Orioles got swept by the Rangers, the 100-win Dodgers got swept by the Diamondbacks, the 99-win Rays were swept by the Rangers, and the 92-win Brewers got swept by the Diamondbacks. That's 5 pretty major upsets. And on top of this, generational superstars Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman went a combined 1 for 21 in the divisional round versus the D-backs. These were 2 top MVP candidates in the regular season, and they managed to go 1 for 21 in 3 games. This divisional series between the Phillies and the Braves officially made Bryce Harper one of the best postseason players of all time. A spark was lit inside of Bryce Harper when a report came out that Orlando Arcia was mocking Bryce Harper, yelling, "Attaboy Harper" in the Braves clubhouse after celebrating their Game 2 victory, where Bryce Harper got doubled off to lose the game. This, of course, didn't end well as Harper went on to hit 2 home runs in Game 3 while staring down Orlando Arcia on both of them. And what better way to end this postseason than having the Diamondbacks upset the Big Bad Phillies and the Rangers beat their big brother Astros en route to go to the World Series. And although this World Series was a little boring as it was just the Rangers destroying the Diamondbacks, we managed to see Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom become World Series champions. Just not with the Mets. Throughout the 2023 season, we saw good teams become bad teams become good, and some of the best teams of all time go out in brutal fashion. And all of this combines to solidify that the 2023 MLB season was dumb.